Coached by Hall of Famer Virgil Fletcher, won the Illinois High School Association State Basketball Championship. 736 teams began play at the district and regional level in 1965, and the K-Hawks were the lone team left standing. The K-Hawks beat Roxana, Alton, and Madison to win the regional, Hillsborough and Belleville to win the sectional, and Lawrenceville to win the super sectional. At the state tournament, the K-Hawks knocked off Lockport in the quarterfinals and Chicago Marshall in semifinals. In the final game, the K-Hawks beat the Quincy Blue Devils 55-52 to win the state championship. Starters Dennis Pace, Jack Darlington, Don Berger, Harry Parker, and Steve Gowan played all 32 minutes in the championship game. Dennis Pace led the tournament in scoring with 112 points in 4 games and was named to the all-tournament team. Jack Darlington was also named to the all-tournament team. And here's the audio from the final seconds of the state championship game.
What they've done, I don't know whether anyone would be up to this, but Quincy calls for a timeout, and they're going to try and plan a course that can get them on even terms with Collinsville. John Buck is coming back into the ball game, the towering center for Quincy, number 41. He's a big boy, 6'8", but he only comes in at about 180 pounds. Doesn't have the stamina to keep up a steady dive to play. But he comes in with enthusiasm, Jack. He bounced up to this corner and he said, "Up, back in." There he is, young boy. All right for Quincy. How do you make 6 points in 31 seconds? They've got the ball. They got to shoot. McMahon lets it go. There's 2 of them. 54-50. Collinsville holding on to the ball. A steal by Gary Thompson. Here he comes. 12 seconds. Straight underneath. There's 4 of them. 8, 7, 6. 3, 2. Whistle blows, stopping the clock for 2 seconds. 54-52 is the score. Have they made a run on him, Jack Breeze, or have it? Love it. Timeout is called. 2 seconds to play. Quincy 52, Collinsville 54. Now, do they do it now? Jack, I don't know. I haven't seen any mirrors on the court here at the Assembly Hall. Has got an amazing basketball team, one that the city of Quincy must certainly be very, very proud of. The Cardiac kids, if I've ever seen a set, and they have just kept coming and coming and coming, and game after game after game. 16 seconds ago, they were down by 4, now they're down by 2. 30 seconds ago, they were down by 6, and here they are. Winning by 2. Play going to the free throw line after drawing the foul is Dennis Pace, and this is almost an automatic point. This brilliant shooter, 6'3", and senior from Collinsville. 14 points so far in this game. That's 50. 55-50. Pace has another shot coming. Is off to the side. To end the ball game, Collinsville wins the state championship 55-52 and Liberty go wide.
All right, and now introducing the 1965 state champs. Number 24, Bruce Evans. Number 30, Jack Darlington. Also here with him is his wife, Susan. Dennis Pace. Number 40, Steve Gowan. Also here with him is his wife, Judy. Number 42, Larry Chastain. With him is his wife, Ellen. And number 52, Don Berger. With him is his wife, Jeannie. Keith Zeisel was unable to attend. Also unable to attend was Dennis Arnold. Team members Harry Parker, Mike Vincent, and Mick Bellabrady are no longer with us and they are deceased. Here for Mike Vincent is his daughter Annie. And if we could take a brief moment of silence for the 1965 team members who are no longer with us. Thank you. Representing the coaches, Mark Fletcher, son of Virgil Fletcher. And the children of Frank Patol, we have Scott Patol, Stan, and Susan. Also with Frank's nephew, Aurelio. And speaking on behalf of the players will be Steve Gowan.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to recognize some of the folks that have not been mentioned today. First of all, our cheerleaders. The cheerleaders that we had were Lynn Ackerman, Diane Bloomer, Diane DeMoro, Barb Fowler, Chris Kaiser, Judy Roski, and Jane Okus. I would also like to recognize others from our supporters. They were our team managers. Rich Lyons, Tom Descono, and Frank Mitchell. And of course, our 1965 classmates, as well as all the underclassmen at that time. They knew that we knew they were with us as players and cheerleaders. Sometimes rowdy, no, all the time rowdy. And behind their team as always, I know we need to score and that there needs to be a winner and loser. This is just the way it is. But I now realize that it is more than about winning, but it's the journey. Here we are 50 years from the event we are honoring tonight against the quality rival, Quincy, that we played twice in '65 for a margin of victory of 4 points. We're the Quincy fans. Quincy, make no mistake about it, your 1965 team was also a champion as well. Not because of the victory on the court over Collinsville, because that never happened. But simply because of the character, integrity, and high standards of your coaches and players that represented your community at that time. Nothing but first class. For some of our classmates, the journey I speak about has ended way too soon, as well as for our mentors, Coach Patol and Coach Fletcher. And for others of us, our journey continues and will play out in future years. something that will never change. That is, the Collinsville K-Hawks will always be remembered as the state of Illinois 1965 state basketball champion. Thank you.
And now speaking on behalf of Coach Fletcher will be 1974 All-Stater and former Tulane University player Mark Fletcher.
It's great to be back. It's great to be back from the gym that's named after my father. I can hear my mother, I think, still up there somewhere. I'm sure the officials, if they were out here with us, would also hear her right now. But anyway, I am Mark Fletcher. I'm the sixth child of Coach Virgil and Violet Fletcher. And I'm very proud to represent my dad tonight as the coach of these guys. I want to also thank Coach Lee for organizing this and all the hard work he's put into this. It's a tough place to follow all the great tradition in Collinsville. And Coach, I know Coach is doing a great job for you all here. I want to say something to the Quincy fans. My dad was very close to Coach Cheryl Hanks, and we as a family were close to Coach Hanks. Mike, my brother, practically grew up with Mike Hanks. You know, we were all mascots together. Mike Hanks was in between the two of us. Mike's much older than me, so I think Mike my brother. So, but Mike Hanks, it was quite like a family we had together. We a great history together. We loved Coach Hanks, and we loved always being with the Quincy people and the Quincy team. I'll never forget the stirring of the pot. I don't know if you guys still do that up there. At the, I don't know if they used to turn out the lights and stir the pots at Quincy. The devil would come out. I know if my dad was here, and he is here, but he'd want to thank all the K-Hawk fans for everything. Some of you probably remember the old gym. I know there's part of it right over there. I, as a child, will never forget how it shook. You know, when the crowd would get going, the place would actually shake. You know, it's amazing after win after win after win. It kept shaking and shaking and shaking to the point where I had to run into the girls' gym and hide. The other thing I talk about with the fans is that my memory of the '65 team, one of the stirring memories of that, was the parade home, going back to the fans. And I remember, I don't know how many miles outside of Collinsville, the cars started to join in. It seems like it must have been 30, 40 miles. And I remember coming home and coming through as a child and seeing the women on their porches banging the pots and pans as the K-Hawks came in. You know, the children and the children on people's shoulders lined up down the street. It was, you know, even today it tugs at my heart, you know, thinking about that memory. And I was going to ask you regarding the fans, if anyone's here, and I know it's been a while, who was at Assembly Hall that night, or who watched it on KPRL TV, I guess, at that time, or who was at the parade. If you all could just raise your hand. See. That's great. That's wonderful. Well, I know, again, from Dad, you guys meant so much to him. And it meant so much to the team, and it brought so many victories because of you guys. And you're still here. God bless you. Now, to talk a little bit about the champs, because I know Dad wanted me to talk about the champs. He had a lot of close calls. All you guys who raised your hands don't remember all the close calls. You know, all the different trips to the state tournament. And in 1964, and I know it's very sad for some of the guys, I know Jerry's here, that team was ranked #1 in the state and was undefeated upset in the super section. Amazingly, incredibly, with one returning starter, these guys came back the following year and won the state championship. So, in closing, I think if Dad was here, and he is, again, he's here, he'd like to say to each and every one of you that he's proud of you, he's proud of the champions that you are, and proud of the people you've become. God bless. Thank you.
Go K-Hawks! And just a reminder, there'll be a reception for the 65 team and fans at the Doubletree Hotel in Collinsville after the varsity game.